Hello, precious saints. It's the 10th day of the 10th month. I have a word for you about a vision I saw in the Spirit on Tuesday the 8th. At the moment, Hurricane Milton is decimating Florida, and there's been quite a bit of evidence that it has been interfered with and ramped up and directed in order to choose the places where the most damage is done. Milton comes from the words mill town. A mill is a place where wheat is crushed and ground to flour. Understand the intention of the enemy. On Tuesday, I was just sitting with the Lord, and I saw in the Spirit a fleeting flash of a picture. I saw a long row of standing dominoes, and they fell one by one, the first one knocking the next one and setting off a chain reaction until the last domino fell against locked prison gates, and the gates did not fall. And as I continued viewing, I saw the row of dominoes were positioned on 3 months of the calendar: October, November, December 2024. The prison gates were positioned at the juncture between 2024 and 2025. And I said to the Lord, "What are these dominoes?" And he said, "They are events organized and orchestrated by the wicked. I will use the wicked to exercise judgments upon the wicked of the nations." And I said to the Lord, "Lord, are these hurricanes, Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, are these hurricanes dominoes?" "Yes, daughter. The seeding of the seed of the serpent lays the groundwork, and the non-human instruct in diabolical inventions to enslave humanity in servitude to Satan. The hungry and thirsty homeless are easily subdued and subjugated, even as they stare mesmerized at their devices, hoping for signal." And I said to him, "Oh Lord, what of your remnant?" "They are few," he said, "but they are mighty. And bowed before my throne, they direct the paths of nations. My angels attend to them." I said, "Lord, Psalm 91 says you will deliver those who make the Most High their refuge." "Yes, and deliverance has many different faces. Some will be snatched out of harm's way and miraculously protected on earth, and others will be snatched up and brought home. Both these examples are deliverance and rescue. You need to see from my perspective. Saving earthen vessels from destruction is not my highest priority. Translating souls from darkness to light and populating the records of heaven is. It is the eternal souls of men that I am after. What came from the earth returns to the earth. Blessed are those from now on who die in the Lord, for their deeds follow them." And I'm not going to add much comment to what the Lord shared with me, except this phrase: the seeding of the seed of the serpent lays the groundwork, and the non-human instruct in diabolical inventions. I was trying to grasp exactly what he was talking about. Was it weather manipulation? What was he saying? And non-coincidentally, I received a message on my cell phone confirming the seeding of the seed of the serpent. Someone had asked Alexa a question, the AI. Hold on a moment, I'm going to read what was said. My first attempt to record this concerning the cloud seeding was removed from my audio, so I'm re-adding this. Somebody asked Alexa, did North Carolina use cloud seeding during Hurricane Helene? And Amazon's Alexa said, North Carolina used silver iodide injected into the eye wall to artificially steer Hurricane Helene. There is the seeding, the injecting of silver iodide into the eye wall, amongst other methods that are used. So we can be sure that the same thing is being done. So, beloved, tumultuous months ahead of us. They've already begun with a bang. Remember birth pangs. I have been attending antenatal classes with my daughter, and I was reminded of how the birth pangs progress. Once they start, there is an increasing intensity and strength of contraction and a shortening of the time between each contraction. So an ever-building crescendo of birth pangs, stronger and more painful. And at the end of the birthing process is what is termed the ring of fire, when the head crowns. And it is a moment of extreme pain for the woman who is giving birth. Remember also that in the earth we have the ring of fire geographically, which runs up from Indonesia, up past Japan and round over to the west coast of North America, where many, many volcanoes are situated. I would not be surprised if these months of dominoes falling and the birth pangs increasing in intensity also included great movement and explosion in the ring of fire in the earth. Remember, Jesus spoke in Matthew 24 about the birth pangs and how natural disasters would be the beginning of the birth pangs. And we are already seeing how the seed of the serpent is seeding and intensifying the birth pangs artificially. I actually was very interested when the woman who was giving the lecture at the antenatal class spoke about inducing labor. And she said the body doesn't have time to acclimatize and to adjust and get ready for birthing naturally the way God designed. But when labor is induced, it starts with very high intensity and, excuse the siren in the background, it starts with very high intensity, and the birth pangs and contractions are much more painful than in a normal, natural birth. So this labor is being induced, beloved. The seed of the serpent is inducing and triggering birth pangs with great intensity. But remember, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to Jesus, and he sent his laborers into the harvest field. We will tread upon serpents and scorpions, and nothing shall by any means harm us. Remember this. The harvest will come in amidst great shakings. Remember also Revelation 12 details incredible battle in the heavenly realm between the angels of God and the fallen angels following Lucifer. And they culminate in a casting down and inhabiting of the man of sin and the son of perdition. So the birth pangs that we've been launched into in the last short while have a culmination. But remember that those who know their God shall be strong and do exploits. Your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. We have no fear of death because we have already died and our lives are hidden with Christ in God. We live for his glory and the furtherance of his kingdom. So when you see all these things happen, look up, for your redemption draws nigh. Let us encourage one another more and more as we see the day approaching.